In the heart of a city that never slept, tucked between a gleaming skyscraper and a bustling subway entrance, sat a tiny, weathered shop with a faded sign that read, Elias's Fine Stitches. Inside, the air smelled of steamed wool, old cedar, and the faint, sweet scent of cocoa. At the center of it all was Nia, a woman whose hands were a map of every garment she had ever touched. She was a master tailor, a craft passed down from a father who told her that a suit wasn't just fabric, it was a person's second skin, their armor against the world. Nia lived in a world of margins. She counted every penny to keep the lights on and to ensure her young daughter, Maya, had the books she needed for school. Life was a rhythmic cycle of the sewing machine's hum and the soft snip of shears, until one rainy Tuesday evening, just as Nia was preparing to lock up. The bell above the door gave a frantic jingle, and in stumbled a man who looked like he had been caught in a physical storm. His name was Arthur Sterling, though Nia didn't know that then. To her, he was just a man in a panicked sweat, clutching a bespoke charcoal suit jacket that had been shredded along the shoulder seam. He looked devastated, not because of the cost of the suit, but because of what it represented. He was breathless, explaining that he had a presentation in an hour, the most important meeting of his life, one that would determine the fate of thousands of employees. He had tripped, caught the jacket on a jagged fence, and now, his armor was in ruins. Nia looked at the clock, then at the man's trembling hands. Most tailors would have seen a billionaire in distress and tripled their price, or simply turned him away citing the closing hour. But Nia saw a human being on the verge of a breakdown. She saw the same look of desperation her father had when the rent was late. She didn't ask for his name or his net worth. She simply held out her hand for the jacket and said, "Sit down. Breathe. I can fix this." For the next 45 minutes, Nia worked with a focused intensity that bordered on the divine. She didn't just stitch, she reconstructed. She used a rare French silk thread she had been saving for a special occasion, weaving it into the wool so perfectly that the tear vanished as if it had never existed. As she worked, Arthur watched her. He noticed her frayed cuffs, the way she squinted under the dim bulb to save on electricity, and the photo of Maya taped to the mirror. He tried to offer her money, hundreds, then thousands, just to hurry. Nia didn't even look up. She told him, quality takes the time it takes, and kindness isn't a transaction. When she finished, the jacket was flawless. Arthur put it on, and his entire posture changed. He stood taller, the panic left his eyes. He reached for his wallet, ready to hand over a blank check, but Nia shook her head. "It's on the house," she said with a tired but genuine smile. "You were having a bad day. Everyone deserves a hand up when they stumble. Go win your meeting." Arthur was stunned. He tried to protest, but Nia ushered him out into the rain, returning to her quiet shop to finish her cleaning. The next morning, the neighborhood was quiet until 3 black SUVs pulled up to the curb of the tiny shop. The neighbors peered through their windows as 6 men in sharp, intimidating suits, lawyers from the city's most prestigious firm, stepped out and marched toward Nia's door. Nia felt a knot of cold fear in her stomach. Her first thought was that she was being evicted, or perhaps she had somehow offended the man from the night before. She stood behind her counter, her hands trembling as the lead lawyer placed a thick leather briefcase on the glass. "Mrs. Nia Vance?" the lawyer asked, his voice booming in the small space. Nia nodded, unable to speak. The lawyer opened the briefcase, but instead of an eviction notice or a lawsuit, he pulled out a gold embossed deed and a contract. He explained that Arthur Sterling had won his merger, saving 5,000 jobs, and he credited the invisible strength Nia had sewn into his coat. But more than that, he had been moved by her refusal to take money when he was at his lowest. The lawyers weren't there to sue her, they were there to deliver her future. Arthur Sterling had purchased the entire building. He wasn't kicking her out, he was gifting her the title to the shop and the 3 floors above it. Furthermore, the contract established a scholarship fund for Maya that would cover her education through a PhD. But the final document was the most life-changing, a partnership agreement. Arthur was launching a high-end sustainable clothing line, and he wanted Nia to be the creative director and head of production. With a 20% stake in the company, Nia sank into her stool, tears finally breaking free. She had spent her life mending the clothes of others while her own dreams were held together by a thread. The lawyers didn't just bring papers, They brought a team of movers who began unloading state-of-the-art equipment, rolls of the finest fabrics, and a sign that would soon replace the old one, Vance and Sterling, the soul of the suit. The story of the poor tailor who helped a billionaire for free spread through the city like wildfire. It wasn't just a story about luck, it was a testament to the power of quiet excellence. Nia's life changed overnight, but she never moved from that little shop. She renovated it, turned the upstairs into a community sewing school for underprivileged youth, and continued to sit at her machine every day. The message left for everyone watching was clear: your character is your most valuable currency. In a world where everyone is trying to get theirs, there is a divine profit in simply being kind. Nia didn't fix a suit that night, she mended a man's spirit, and in doing so, she stitched a new destiny for herself. The world might see a poor tailor, but the universe sees a master. And eventually, the universe always pays its debts with interest.